Well, first of all, welcome to my session. We're going to talk about Oracle Analytics Cloud and machine learning and how can we do proactive analytics, predictive analytics. Well, my name is Edelweiss Kammerman. I'm working for a company named IT Conversions. We are also in the exhibition booth here in Oracle Open World. We are offering different type of services. We're based on US, but we have offices in Latin America, in India, and obviously in different parts of US. So we are offering different services. We're hosting, we have hosting services. We also have EBS services, BI, service-oriented architecture. So we do a lot of stuff, not only support, but also consultancy. So we have more than 600 employees in the whole world and 11 offices globally, and we have more than 1,000 customers. So we are a big company, and we will love that you just go around and say hi to our salesperson in the booth. So my name is Edelweiss Kammerman. It's quite complicated, so you can call me Edel. It's the easiest way possible. And I'm from Uruguay. It's in South America. I'm a computer engineer. I'm working with Oracle technologies for more than 20 years. I run in the Oracle user group in Uruguay. We founded. And also, I'm the vice president of the Latin American Oracle user group community, which is the community that holds all the user groups in Latin America. I'm also a director in analytics. I usually speak in this type of conference. And if you are wondering, where is Uruguay? I know. It's there between Argentina and Brazil. And this is some pictures of my city. I live in front of the sea, so I don't have anything to blame. Okay, this is the downtown, and that thing that looks like a mothership is our airport. Okay, if you're wondering what is the next program, Oracle runs a couple of programs. One is Oracle ACE program, another one is Oracle Groundbreakers. So if you are more in the developer area, you are collaborating with the community, you can start in this path. If you're running more Oracle products, you can and also collaborate with the community, and maybe you have a blog, maybe you want to participate with Oracle user groups in conferences. You can go through this path. It has a lot of benefits. It's a lot of work too, but you have Oracle Associate, which is the first level, and then, for example, for Oracle Open World, we have a previous meeting on Saturday, which is called Oracle ACE Director Product Briefing, and it was great because we can talk with product managers and we can, have the fresh news before anyone. So it's really, really nice. Okay, so let's talk about the topic the reason why we are here. So we are going to talk about Oracle Analytics Cloud and machine learning. So we're going to explain you a little what is Oracle Analytics Cloud, what is machine learning, how we can work, what are the features of machine learning features that we have in OAC. Okay, so first of all, how many of you have been working with Oracle Analytics Cloud or seen something about Oracle Analytics Cloud? Okay, Oracle BI on-premise? Good. 12c version? 11c? 10? No? Okay, perfect. Okay, so Oracle Analytics Cloud is the version of OBI plus more stuff in the cloud. So we have, in addition to Oracle BI, we have the self-service analytic tool, which is data visualization, which is great and very intuitive for business users. We still have BI Publisher as the reporting tool. We can connect with big data sources. We have possibility of do predictive analytics and using machine learning. So right now, during the last few years, the versions of Oracle Analytics Cloud have changed a little. Right now, what we have, if you, for example, right now want to have a cloud trial or buy Oracle Analytics Cloud, you have two options. One is Professional Edition, and another one is Enterprise Edition. So Professional Edition is for the data visualization, self-service analytics capabilities. So for example, if you want that plus Oracle BI, you need to go to Enterprise Edition. So the option that offers everything is the Enterprise Edition. But if you only want, for example, the self-service analytic tool, with Professional Edition, you are quite good, and it's $20 per user per month. So it's a very good competitive price with other self-service analytic tools in the market. The data visualization tool is the one that I'm telling you that is very intuitive for business users. You just drag the columns, and you will see the information immediately. That is the difference between this and analysis. You can connect to a variety of data sources. Right now, it's like almost 60 type of different data sources that you can connect. And you don't have, one thing that I really like is you don't need to have SQL knowledge to merge data sets. So I can have, for example, one data set that comes from Excel file, another data set that comes from, I don't know, Autonomous Data Warehouse Cloud, so a table from Autonomous Data Warehouse Cloud, or even a Hive table. I can use it both in the same project. And if we have, for example, a column that has the same name and type in one data set and the same name and type in the other data set, automatically it creates a join. So I'm showing data that it comes from complete different sources, and I can do the analysis that I want. Another thing that I have is something that is called data flow. Data flow is like a mini ETL that allows me to create new data sets based on sources that I have. So I can do some simple transformations, some joins. I can also do some things related more like big data, like, for example, analyze sentiment without enter a line of code, and also include machine learning steps. We're going to see that. Another thing that I can do is, one that I have the data flow and I run it, I can schedule these data flows, and I can create sequence. Sequences is like a chain of different data flows, so I can have all my mini ETLs, schedule it, and chain it without any issue. And obviously, Oracle BI. This is in the Enterprise Edition, right? So we have everything that we have in Oracle BI on-premise, we have it here. Okay, so you have, this is for more, it's more IT-oriented, so you can create more complex reports, more complex analysis. You can create dashboards here. So basically, for me, the main difference is Oracle BI is more oriented to IT users, and data visualization is more oriented to business users. It's more intuitive. One thing that also you have is BI Ask. BI Ask is you can just write a question, okay? So for example, what is the revenue for, what is the revenue by region, by product category? And you will see it, okay? So it has indexes. It's based on Lucene search technology. And if you have, for example, the application Day by Day, which is a mobile application, you have voice recognition, and you can do this exactly the same with your voice, okay? For mobile applications, you have 3 different mobile applications. Day by Day, which is the last one, is the only that it can be, it's exclusive to use it with OAC Enterprise Edition. The other ones, you can use it with the Professional Edition too, but Synopsys is a free mobile app. I don't know why it's not marketed that much, but it's great. In fact, if you want it, you can download it for free, and you can start, creating analysis with your CSV files or Excel files that you have in your cell phone. No license, you can use it right away, okay? And the topic that we're going to be focused on this session, which is machine learning. So we have different features of machine learning in Oracle Analytics Cloud. One is the possibility of use advanced analytics, which is some native functions that you have. So for example, you create a graph. You want to see a trend of the information that you visualize, and you just drag the function to the graph, and that's it. You don't need to code it. You don't need to create it. It's right there, okay? So that is one thing. another thing that you have is the possibility of create machine learning models. And that is the main focus of this session. I'm going to do, at the end, live demo. This is so I usually do live demos in my sessions. So this is the risk that I take in my life. I'm not a sporty girl, I'm not doing extreme sports, but I'm doing this, which is pretty risky. So we're going to see how we can create a machine learning model, what is machine learning, and the options that you have in OAC. Okay, so machine learning. We have some definitions there. Usually the common one is that it's a part of application of artificial intelligence, and it's a system that has the ability to learn with and improve from experience without being programming. Okay, this is the typical machine learning definition. Basically, when you, for example, the difference between programming and creating a machine learning model is that you have an input, you code in, and then you have an output. With machine learning, you have input, output, and then you transform this, you elaborate that to create a model, okay? But you don't put in all the tasks that you need to do to have the model. So the model is learning for the data that you are inputting, okay? Okay, so important thing, why and when we should use it. So basically, we are humans, okay? So we have a limited capacity of analyze amount of data, okay? So basically, I cannot process visually, you know, and find a pattern of, I don't know, thousands of millions and millions of rows, okay? So the idea is when I have to process and analyze very large and complex data, this is a very good opportunity, okay? This is one option. The other reason is my background. For example, what that means is, for example, if I want to analyze why is the main reason for heart disease, and I'm vegan or vegetarian, I will say it's the meat. The problem is the meat, and I will try to find out that I'm right. Probably not consciously, you know, but all of us have some ideas or preconcept or background of what is the reason why the things are working in some way. With machine learning, so for example, will be the reason for a vegetarian person. No, you have the meat causes cholesterol and blah, 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 and that is why the main cause of heart disease. But for example, I'm coming from Uruguay, so we have a lot of meat. You know, we eat meat almost daily, so for me, I don't think that will be the reason. So two different persons can come to a different outcomes with the same data. So the result could be different, but they are analyzing the same data set. So that is why machine learning is very useful, because it's neutral, okay? And one thing that is really nice about OAC, that with different technologies, machine learning is becoming accessible to almost everybody. Okay, so for example, with Oracle Analytics Cloud, you don't have to be a data scientist, and you have a lot of experience on Python or, you know, and delivering machine learning models can use it. Okay, so this way you can create and train models without having to code it. Okay, this is one of the other reasons. So we have different types of machine learning. One is supervised. The other is unsupervised, and the last one is reinforcement. There are other classifications, but I think this is the main one. So for example, the supervised is I have to guide in some way the machine learning model, provided training data. So I'm providing the input, I'm providing the output. So I'm training the model with these two things, okay? So the type of the result that I want, it has to be specified, okay? For the unsupervised, okay, no result has to be specified. So the model will learn by their own what is the different patterns that the data has. The reinforcement is like the supervised one, but it's a continuous process. So the model is continually learning and can change the the algorithm based on the changes in the data. So it's a continuous process. It's not only one initial data set and that's it. It's a continuous process. In OAC, we have possibility to work with the two first type of machine learning, supervised and unsupervised. With supervised, we have three types: numeric prediction, multi-classifier, and binary classification. Okay? So what is the difference? The first one is, for example, and it's the example that we're going to see in the demo. If I want to know, so I have, for example, a company that rents bikes in the city. I want to see how many bikes, because I need to plan if I have to buy more bikes or not, how many rentals, I predict how many rental bikes I will have, how many rentals I will have, I don't know, next quarter or next year, okay, based on historical data. So the result that I want is a number. When the result is a number, like for example, it will be the count of the bikes that is going to be used possible in the next year, or for example, I don't know, the weight of a specific person that is into a diet or something like that. That the result is a number. We are using the numeric prediction. When we have, for example, a binary classification, which the answer is yes or no, just two values, that is a binary classification that you have to use. Okay? So for example, attrition prediction. So I have a lot of people in the company that is leaving. So I want to know, I want to predict which are the people that has more tendency to leave my company. That is yes or no. They're going to leave or not, yes or no. This is attrition prediction and it will be a binary classification model. The other model is multi-classifier. So sometimes I don't have only two values. I have more values. For example, heart disease. So it's likely probably that you have a heart disease. It's not probably, is really, really very probably. So you have 3 or 4 different values for result. So if you have different values for result, you use multi-classifier. And you also have unsupervised machine learning model, which is clustering. Clustering is to group something. But as I told you, I don't know, I am not giving the output to the model. So what I'm doing is, for example, giving data. You know, the supervisor, remember that is the model is learning by the data without the supervision of someone. So for example, grouping customers by purchasing behavior. This is a typical unsupervised machine learning model, okay? Usually, the process that we are going to have to follow with the machine learning process is, first of all, understand the business problem. Why we want that? What do we want? For example, in this case, we want to see if we have to buy, for example, more bikes because we're going to have an increase in the, I don't know, in the fall. In the fall season, maybe we have an increase of people that is going to rent our bikes, and we need to be sure that we have enough. This is understand the business problem. Second is acquire and understand the data. This is the more, I think that the second point is the more complex, because we need to find the right data, which is not always easy, and also understand what are the, for example, the attributes that has some meaningful to the result that I want. 3, processing the data, model the problem with some machine learning models, validate and execute and deploy. With OAC, what we're going to do is, first of all, taking data sets and analyze the data, not trying to not start from scratch, but using some machine learning features that OAC has natively, analyze the data, review the data to see and include only meaningful attributes. The second point will be create a trained model using something in the data flow. Review the model quality is the third point, which is optional, obviously. And 4, apply a model. So we create a model. Once we have this model, we're going to apply it, yes, to a new data set. okay? Because we want to predict what will be the information for next year or next quarter, okay? So to apply a model, we have two options. One is create a new data set. So we apply the machine learning model, we create a new data set, and we analyze this new data set that we created. This is one option. The other option is to doing on the fly, which is creating a scenario on the project that we're going to see. And in that case, we are not creating a data set. We are doing all of this in the moment, okay? So let's go to the demonstration that we want to do. So the business object is predict the rental of bikes in the following quarter, okay? So let's move to the tool, which I think it will be more interesting. And the idea is that I spend more time in the tool for you to know. Here we are. Okay, so first of all, let me show you. This is the login page to the cloud infrastructure. To go to analytics, it's not this one. It's platform services. It's very, very tiny here. Okay, platform services, analytics. One thing that I want to clarify, you will see in my screen that I have analytics and analytics classic. Analytics classic, so until a few months ago, we have two different types of cloud. So we have one cloud with services that are managed by Oracle, and we have the classic one, which are the first generation of the cloud, which are services that are managed by you, by the user. That means that you could SSH the server and access the configuration files and everything. That is not going to be longer available, because the idea is that having, in the second generation of cloud, having services that are managed totally by Oracle. Okay, so all the administration part is doing by Oracle. So this difference between analytics and analytics classic, you won't have it. So right now, if you have to use a new Oracle Cloud trial, you will see that option. But it's okay, just for you to know. So go to Oracle Analytics. I have a couple of services here. Let me expand a little this, so I'll try to, okay. So I create one. If I want to create a new analytics cloud, and it's pretty easy, that is why I wanted to show you, you have to put an instance name, for example, okay? It cannot have spaces in the middle, description, the email, no preference region, or select a region if you, for example, have a region that it's close to your home, that will be better, okay? And you have two options. If you have, for example, if you are using, one important thing, if you're using a cloud trial, so you're not using in production or for your company, you're using just a cloud trial, a free cloud trial, just select this one, this option my organization already owns, so the credits that you're using will be less, okay? In real life, if you have to do it for your company, you need to be sure that if you have a license for this or not. What does it mean? For example, imagine that you already have Oracle BI, okay? You're going to move Oracle BI to the cloud. So you can use that license that you're not going to use anymore on-premise, you can use it in the cloud, okay? And the difference of the price is a lot. So for example, the price per hour per month is so much less if you're using the license or not, okay? If you don't have a license, you need to select the subscribe to a new Oracle Analytics Cloud Software license, okay? And then you have professional and enterprise. Select enterprise. Number of CPUs. One is non-production. If you're doing a cloud trial, use only one. It's just enough, okay? Next. and that's it. It's the only thing that you then confirm, and it will create a new instance for you. So it's pretty, pretty fast. Okay? And it's simple. It's simple. It's easier than in the past. Once you have the service, okay, you have Oracle Analytics Cloud URL, which is the URL to access OAC. And you can also stop the service. What does it mean? If the service is down, you're not charging for that. Okay? So basically the idea is if you're not using it, you can stop it. Especially when you are doing a cloud trial, you can create, with a cloud trial, you can create all the cloud service that you want. But one important thing that you need to be sure that once you have play and play around with the tool, with the service, just stop it. Otherwise, it will consume resources. Okay? So go to Oracle Analytics Cloud URL. This is the main homepage. Okay? So if I want to go to, for example, BI, I have to enter Open Classic Home. And you will see the same look and feel of Oracle BI 12c. And this is the same thing, right? You can create new analysis, new dashboards. Okay, we can have dashboards here. For new analysis, you have two options. You can use a subject area if you have an RPD. Okay. For RPD, it's the same thing. You can have an RPD and upload it, or you can create a new data model from scratch. Okay, and these are the data sets that you create in data visualization. So you can use also an Excel file as a source for analysis, which you can do it in OBI 12c only if you have the Visual Analyzer option. Okay. Okay. So let's come back to here, and I will explain very briefly how you can work with data visualization, and then start with the machine learning part. So the first thing that you need to do is create a connection. Okay. You need a connection to a source that you want. You can create a connection with different type of sources, and you have a lot. Not only from Oracle, but you have also DB2, for example, MySQL, SQL Server, MongoDB, Redshift is also there, Snowflake, Spark, and you can also connect with OData if you have a native connection with a specific source. Okay? Great. Once you have the connection, the other thing that you have to do is create a data set. So if I want, so I create the connection, the next step is create a data set. The data set you can create using the connections that you already have, or you can drop an Excel file here. Okay? You can select an Excel file and put it there, or you can create, if you have different connections, you can use the connection that you want. Okay? Once you have a connection, you start working with projects. Projects is, so let me do something very quickly. Sample with an Excel file. Okay, so I can, for example, select sales, product category. And one thing that is really nice, once you create a data set and you have a date, it creates automatically a hierarchy of that date for you. I didn't do that. Okay, he did it for you. Okay, so I can select, for example, a quarter, and because it's a date, he selects the best visualization possible depending on the data that you have. So I have a line here because we have a line time, right? And I can select the difference, another difference with answers. In answers, you have to define all the columns, the criteria, and then you go to the results and create the graphs. Here, it's more like a mix between analysis and dashboard. You can also, for example, create a complete different one. So select profit, for example, and put it here. And select, for example, ship mode, and it creates a new one. Okay, so it's pretty easy. It's pretty intuitive for business user. That is the difference between both tools. So let's start with the machine learning. The first thing that we need to do is using a data set. So in my case, I have a data set that is called bike renting training. I want to open it. Another thing that you have when you open a data set to see what you have, okay, is some recommendations. So this is also some machine learning feature for OAC that recommends to you to do something. For example, if you have a credit card in there, it will suggest you to obfuscate it. Okay. If you have, for example, zip code, it will see, oh, do you want to see the city? Do you want to see the, so there are some recommendations that you can just add it here, and you run the script, and that's it. You don't have to do anything else, okay? Okay, let's go to create a new project based on this data set. Let me go to the data sets, create project. And here I have all the information here. And in this case, we have historical data. So we have, for example, season, the year, if that day was a holiday, weekday, working day, some attributes. And I have the temperature of that day, the wind speed, and the count, which is my target. So this is the historical data that I'm going to use to train and create my machine learning model. So for example, I can start doing some visualizations here, but I can also try to use some machine learning features to analyze the data without starting from scratch. So for example, if I have to right-click one of the attributes, means season, for example, you have one option that says explain season. And here you have the possibility of see some basic facts about season, okay? And here you will see the amount of wind speed, the wind speed during the seasons. So analyze different measures regarding the, so you can add, for example, if you want to add some of these visualizations, I can select it, add select, and I have my visualization here. Okay? So I can analyze the data without starting from scratch. And I can, for example, create another canvas, you know, like in a dashboard that we have different tabs, and I can analyze the measure, the count. So explain count. And I will see that, for example, this attribute of instant is not going to make any difference. I see that the month of the year depending on the month, it's depending on the amount of rentals that I have. So I want to include this one, include what is the season. So summer, for example, is a good season for riding a bike. If it's a holiday, yes or no. If it's a working day, and how is the day? It's cloudy. So I want to create a new canvas with this information. Okay? Perfect. So I will save it. Okay. And that's it. So I will use that to create a new machine learning model. Okay. So let's go to create a data flow. So let's go to home, create data flow. And the first thing that it asks is, what is the data set that I'm going to work? Okay. In this case, I decided to use the training, the bike training one, back painting training. Okay. So I can use all the columns that I have in that data set, or I can select the columns in order to only add the meaningful attributes. Okay, so I will select columns. Okay, and I can select which ones I don't want. I don't want this one. And I don't want the row count. It's also not necessary here. Perfect. Okay. And I can add a new task, a new step in this data flow, which is create a trained machine learning model. In this case, we're going to use the numeric prediction because we want a numeric as a result. I can use this one. The first thing that I need to do is select the target, which will be the column that will be the target for this machine learning model. Remember that we need to put the input and the output. So the output here will be the count. Okay? So select the regression method, blah, blah, blah. And also, an important thing is to define which amount of this data is going to use it to train the model, and which other one is going to be used to test it. So in this case, I will use, usually it's 80-20, 70-30. So you use 80 or 70 to train the model, and then you use 20 or 30 to test it. So we're doing 80. We save the model, and you can put a name. You save it, you run it. And that's it. Okay, you then run the data flow. I don't want to do it because we don't have enough time. It's fast, but so I have already created this. Okay, here, let's open it so you can see it. And it's run it. And it generates a model. So if I go, for example, to machine learning option here in the menu, don't save, you will see the model was created. Okay, and you can inspect and analyze the quality. Okay, it's 82% accurate, so we're good. And we can use then this machine learning model. So you realize that I'm not doing anything with code here. I'm not coding anything. That doesn't mean, obviously, that, for example, if you have a very complex problem that you need to have a different type of machine learning models, you probably need to use another tool. But what I mean is that any business analyst can use, or IT people can use this without having the knowledge of Python or of data science or something like this. Okay? Okay, so let's use it. Let's apply, let's create a new data flow. Yes? Yes, of course. So it depends on the type of the model. You will have a different type of information. Okay. And for example, let me show you another one, which is the attrition model. Let me check how much time do I have. Okay, this is the prediction model, which has 87% accuracy. This is a yes or no training model. But let me show you how to use it. So, because I have five minutes. Okay. I don't see anybody. Okay, let me show you then the data flow when I use it, and how you can predict this information. Okay, so I create a new one, a new data flow. So I create one that uses the machine learning model to create and train the machine learning model. I'm going to use another one to use this machine learning. So let me open this. I already did it. Okay. And you just select the data set, another data set that doesn't have the output, obviously, because the output is what you want right now. So the count, you don't have it. So you have new data but you don't have the count. Okay, so you need the output for the next quarter, for example. And you select the step apply model. In apply model, you're going to select the name of the model that you want, okay, and the name for the output, which is predicted count. You save the data, and you have a new data set, which is the result of applying the machine learning model. So this new data set is going to have the count, okay? And if I analyze this information in a project, let me see, I already have it here. Here. No, it's not this one. Here it is. So I have the predicted count, which is the output of the new data set. And I can create new visualizations and analyze the data. So right now, I can see that, for example, that in the months of winter, nobody's going to rent bikes, or it's decreasing, or the prediction is that they're going to decrease the amount of rental bikes that they have. So with this data set, you can create predictive analytics without entering a line of code. Yes?
How do you connect to like VPN database? Like if you have to go through VPN.
You know what? It will be interesting if you, because we are recording this session, if you can use the microphone, that would be awesome. Here. Sorry to.
So I was just wondering, how do we use the connection using VPN? So if we have data that is there in the database that we have to log in through, yeah, on-premise or anything, the connection, how do we do it?
With OEC, you have something that is called Remote Data Gateway that can connect to Oracle database with MySQL, and it's going to release some 3 or 4 more sources. And you can connect, so it's an agent that you download it, install it in you can install it in the same database, or for security reasons, if you want to install it in another server that has connection to your database server, you can also do it. And it's very easy to install, and it's like a private connection with the database. Okay. Remote Data Gateway is the name.
Okay. And the sources, does it support images like Hadoop or anything? Any source can come through? Or is it like structured or anything like that?
So for example, if you already exported, you have here a data set of Hive and Hadoop, yes, you can use it here.
Okay.
So let me come back to the connections very quickly. Sorry, create connection. You have Hadoop, you have Hive. What is Hive? There's a Hive table in somewhere. Here.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks.
Thanks to you. One thing that is important to realize, this is quite easy to analyze data sets that are not huge. For example, if you have some huge data sets, maybe you want to use Oracle Advanced Analytics in the Oracle database, and you want to create your own model using machine learning for Python, maybe. So the idea, for example, and it's the same thing with other features. You have the data flow right now in OEC that you can create a mini ETL. If you have to do some very complex transformations, you're not going to use that. You're going to use another tool like Oracle Data Integrator, for example. But the idea is that you have these tools that you can be that give you the technology in a way it's very accessible for you without having to have a huge knowledge of data science very easily. So you can create new machine learning models, in a way that you cannot do it in the past, probably. So in the past, you need to learn Python, or have, for example, this, all the OEC machine learning features are based on Python, but you don't have to code Python to use it. So I think this is a very good and very powerful opportunity, very powerful tool to give to business users, business analysts, and IT people to start working and playing with it. If you're interested in it, you can also, go deeper and study some other stuff, right? But I think that this is a very, very interesting way and very quickly to create new predictive analytics without, having much knowledge of data science. Do you? Let me see if I have something else. Yes, I have something. Further information. If it appears. Okay. Further information. You have Oracle Cloud Trials. Okay. I'm pretty sure that if you go to the exhibition here in the south, you have the Groundbreaker Hub. You can ask for, so there are two types of cloud trials. One that you have to put your credit card. It's not going to charge you anything, but you have 300 credits for free, and then it starts to charge you. But there is an option of having 500 credits for free, and I'm pretty sure that Oracle is doing that during the Oracle Open World without the necessity of enter the credit card. The another thing that's really nice is the Oracle Analytics Library. Oracle Analytics Library, let me show you very, very quickly. All of you take a picture of that? Yeah? OK. So you have the Oracle Analytics Library. You can just Google it. And you have a lot of examples. Another thing that I didn't mention is with OEC right now, you cannot create your custom scripts, okay? But it's in the roadmap. In the roadmap is that you can, for example, store it in an autonomous data warehouse cloud, some machine learning model, more complex machine learning model that you have created in Python, for example, store it there, and then use it in OEC. Here in Analytics Library, you have a lot of examples. Okay, you have examples. You can download, for example, examples and upload it to Oracle Analytics Cloud to use it. You have tutorials. And Udemy, you also have a training, a couple of free trainings for OEC. Basic stuff, but good stuff. So that is also another important resource. I don't know if you have any question. Yes.
Is there an option in there to impute missing values?
To what?
Impute missing values, to replace missing values if you have missing values in your data set?
To reload the data set?
Well, if your data set has 20 rows that have a missing value in there,
yes, you can
so
do
it
some
doesn't
cleansing.
get, because regression otherwise would ignore it, right? So
with the machine learning model, no. You can do some cleansing in the data before doing nothing with the machine learning model.
Okay.
This is something you can do in the tool.
You can clean it beforehand?
Before it.
Okay.
Okay. I think that we are in the time. Thank you so much for coming. Hope that it helps you. Thank you.